Hello students, today we will discuss next topic, that is refraction of light, the bending of light when it goes from one medium to another obliquely. It is called refraction of light. Let's discuss it with the help of a diagram. For example, I have taken this glass slab or glass block, and a ray of light is incident on this interface. This thing is called interface. Why this is called interface? Because this is separating the two media. Which two media? Air and the glass block you can say, or glass slab you can also say. So when the light is incident on this interface and it is falling obliquely, it bends, and after bending, again at this surface it is again separating the two media, glass and the air. It again suffer refraction and it will again bend. So this is called refraction of light. Now we will discuss important terms related to refraction. So first, this light ray AO, which is incident on the interface PQ. Now you know what is interface. Interface is that thing which separates the two medium, or medium is the singular word, and for the plural we will use media, MEDIA. So draw a normal where the light is incident, and this is the incident ray, and the angle which incident ray makes with the normal, that is called angle of incidence. This is a normal n dash, and because the light ray is going from rarer medium to denser medium, this is air, this is glass. Obviously glass is the denser medium as compared to air, so it will bend towards the normal. This is the rule for the refraction. And the angle between normal and the refracted ray, that is called angle of refraction, and it is represented by R. Here we have discussed the two cases, and here I have discussed only one case with you so that you can understand the basic terms or important terms which are related to refraction. So what is angle of incidence? I am repeating again, the angle between incident ray and the normal, that is called angle of incidence, and the angle between refracted ray and the normal, that is called angle of refraction. Now let's discuss the cause of refraction. What is the cause of refraction? It is due to the change of speed of light on going from one medium to another. Means cause of refraction means, what is refraction? That is the bending of light ray when it goes from one medium to another. Now what is the cause of that bending? The cause is this. Suppose now light ray is incident, it is going from air to the denser medium, that is glass. So there will be effect on its speed. There will be change in the speed, and due to that change it suffers refraction, means it will undergo bending. So this is the cause of refraction. Now let's discuss optically rarer and denser medium. Now what is a rarer medium? A medium in which speed of light is more, that is called optically rarer medium. For example, here what you can say, in air, here we have air, here we have glass. In air speed of light will be more, so it is a rarer medium. And for denser medium, speed of light is less as compared to this previous medium, that is air. So this is the denser medium. So air, if we compare air and glass, air is a rarer medium and glass is a denser medium. Let's discuss some points which are very important in refraction. First point is, when our ray of light goes from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. You can see these are rules and you have to learn these rules. Let's discuss it with the help of diagram. So this is the diagram. Here what I have shown, I have taken a glass slab, and this is a denser medium and air is the rarer medium. Now you know all the things, what is rarer medium and what is denser medium. Here I have drawn a normal and a ray is incident on it and after reflection it bent towards the normal, means it is going towards the normal, it is not going away from the normal. So this is the case when a light rays incident on the interface separating the two media. When a light ray enters from rarer medium to denser medium, it will bend towards the normal. Second point is, when a ray of light goes from denser to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Let's discuss again with the help of diagram. Like now, glass is the denser medium and air is the rarer medium. A light ray is incident with respect to normal, it is making an angle of incidence, and after refraction, not reflection, refraction, it will go away from the normal. Here the light ray is coming towards and here it is going away. So this is the second rule of refraction. When a ray of light goes from denser to the rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Let's discuss an activity now. Refraction of light through a glass slab. We will perform this activity in our lab also. So in this refraction of light through a glass slab, firstly just name the glass slab. Four corners P, Q, R and S. Now light rays incident, draw a normal at the point of incidence and it will bend towards the normal. Again draw a normal because this is the interface where two media separate, and again the light ray will go away from the normal. Now this is called incident ray, this is called refracted ray, and this is called emergent ray, and the angle between normal and the light ray, that is called emergent ray. Now it is represented by small e. Now why it is called emergent ray? There is a reason for this, because light ray after entering the glass slab, it emerges out. Emerges out means it comes out from the glass slab. That is why it is called emergent ray. Now what we will do, we will produce this incident ray like this backward. We will produce it, extend this light ray backwards, and we will observe that incident ray has shifted to this much distance, and this thing, the distance between the incident ray and the emergent ray, that is called lateral displacement. So this is a new term for you again. Lateral displacement. What do you mean by lateral displacement? That is the distance between the incident ray and you can say the shift between the emergent and the incident ray, that is called lateral displacement. So let's discuss it again. A ray of light AO traveling in air, that is called your incident ray, and after reflection it goes refraction, it will bend towards the normal, which is represented by ray OB, and again this OB, it will undergo refraction and it will become BC, which is called emergent ray. Now the angle which the incident ray makes with the normal, already we did this thing, it is called angle of incidence. The angle which the emergent ray makes with the normal, that is called angle of emergence. Next is lateral displacement, the distance between the original path of the incident ray and the emergent ray coming out of the glass slab, that is called lateral displacement. Again I'll show you. This is the incident ray, this is the emergent ray. This distance, perpendicular distance between these two, this is called lateral displacement. Now on what factors lateral displacement depends? It is directly proportional to angle of incidence, thickness of glass slab and refractive index of the glass slab. Our next topic is effects of refraction of light. When the stick is partly immersed in water, due to refraction of light coming from the part of that stick under the water, the stick appears to be bent. Similarly, when the pencil is partly immersed in water, due to refraction of light, it appears to be bent. Let's discuss it with the help of diagram. So in this diagram, you have taken a trough, you'll fill it with water and you put a pencil or a stick in it. When I'll put a pencil or a stick in it, it will be like this. And when you look at this stick, it appears to be bent. Why it appears to be bent? That is because of refraction. What happened during the refraction? The light rays, when passing from one medium to another, means the light ray passing from this air to water, they bend, and you will see the virtual image of that object. Virtual image means that which is not actually happening, but it appears to you like this. So this is a virtual image. This is a virtual image that you will see. You'll see the image of this stick here. So it appears to be bent due to the refraction. Our next topic is, take a trough, fill it with water, little bit water firstly, and put a coin in that. You will observe that and then look at that trough. You will observe that there is no much difference. The coin is there only. You cannot see the coin in the bottom, but when you look sideways. But when you put more water in that trough, you will start seeing the image of that coin. Why this happens? This happens due to, again, the same concept, refraction of light. What happens actually? This is your object, and when you fill this trough with water, it appears to be raised. Why it appears to be raised? Because when the light rays, they go from the coin, they reach this interface, that is water and air interface, they got refracted. Refracted means because it is going from denser to the rarer medium, it will bend away from the normal. So when it will bend away from the normal, when you reduce it backwards, you will feel this coin is not lying here, this is lying here. It means you are going to see the virtual image of the object. So that this is the reason that the coin appears to be raised, but actually it is not. It is lying at the bottom only. Our next topic in this is, when we look into the pool of water, we do not see the actual bottom of the pool. We see a virtual image of the bottom of the pool, which is formed by refraction of light coming from the pool water into the air. How this will happen? This is the real depth of the pool, and suppose this is the floor is the object. Now when you look at the pool, you will see when the light rays are coming from denser to the rarer medium, they will move away from the normal, means they'll bend away. So when they'll bend away, they'll go like this, and when you'll reproduce it, you will observe that they are meeting at some point like this. So here the virtual image will form of this floor, the bed, and this image will act as the depth of the pool. So this is the apparent depth of the pool, mean this is the imaginary depth which you feel that this is the actual depth of the pool, but this is not the actual one. The real depth is this one, where the bottom is there, where the bottom of the pool is there. It means you see a virtual image again. And so when we look into the pool of water, we do not see the actual bottom, we see the virtual image of bottom. Similarly, an ink mark or the writing on the piece of paper, it appears to be raised and much nearer than it actually is when viewed by keeping a glass slab over it. This also happens due to the refraction of light. Let's discuss laws of refraction of light now. Through the same diagram, let's discuss first law, the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal. At the point of incidence, this is the point of incidence, all lie in the same plane. Second point, the ratio of sine of the angle of incidence, means sine I, to the sine r, means the sine of angle of refraction. That is always constant for the given pair of media. What is the given pair of media here? Air glass. air and glass, that is a pair of media, that is always constant. So how we can write it? This is also called Snell's law of refraction. Sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction, that is equal to constant, means sine I by sine R is equal to constant. So this constant is called refractive index. So we will discuss refractive index again. The value of constant, that is sine I by sine R, for the ray of light passing from air to the particular medium, that is called refractive index of that medium, means n. This is refractive index represented by word n, that is equivalent to the ratio of sine I by sine R. Now this is angle, again this is angle. Angle divided by angle, since it is the division of two similar quantities, so refractive index has no units. So let's discuss some numericals based upon the refractive index. A beam of light passing from the air to a substance X, means we don't know the other medium, we know one medium, that it goes from air to X. If angle of incidence is 72 degree and angle of refraction is 40 degree, calculate the refractive index of X, and it is already given to you that sine 72 is this, sine 40 is this. Okay, the formula, n is equal to sine I by sine R. So n is equal to, put the value of I and R here, sine 72 by sine 40. So put the values, sine 72 0.951, here 0.642. When you will divide it and simplify it, you will get refractive index as 1.48. So this is how you can find the refractive index of a X. Next we will discuss refractive index and speed of light. The refractive index can also be written as the ratio of speeds of light in the two media. Let's see how we can write. Like I have taken a light ray which is going from medium 1 to 2, and speed of light in first medium is V1, let speed of light in medium 2 be V2, and similarly angle I and R, which we have discussed earlier also. So refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is equal to the ratio of light in medium 1 to the speed of light in medium 2. Let's see how we can write. This is the symbol for the refractive index. Here we will write medium 2 and here we will write medium 1 in front. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. Learn like this. And it will be equivalent to speed of light in medium 1 divided by speed of light in medium 2. Means if 2 comes here, you are going to write 1 and in the numerator. So how we can represent refractive index? There are many ways. But keep in mind, we are doing for that thing refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. It can be written as n21, refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. Similarly, n2 here 1 or n21, and it will be equivalent to V1 by V2. So these are the three ways. That is how you can represent the refractive index. So n21, again I am saying refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. What is V1? Speed of light in medium 1. What is V2? Speed of light in medium 2. Next we will discuss relative refractive index. Relative, it is clear from its name that we are going to compare two things. When light is going from one medium to another, other than vacuum or air, means usually we did up to now, we did only this type of case, that one medium is air, other is glass, one medium is air, other is water. Now we have two different mediums, but we are not having air or vacuum in it, because for air or vacuum we use the same value. Then the value of refractive index is called relative refractive index. I hope this will be clear to you. Means when the two mediums, from the two mediums we take two different mediums, we will not take any medium as air, then that refractive index is called relative refractive index. Like I have written here, NGW, refractive index of glass with respect to water. It can be written three ways, and the three ways you know. You can write like this: NGW, NGW here, NGW here at the top. Next is absolute refractive index. When the light is going from vacuum to another medium, then the value of refractive index is called absolute refractive index. Here you can write air also, means when you have air or vacuum to the another medium, when you are take refractive index of two mediums and in that one medium is air or vacuum, then that refractive index is called absolute refractive index. For example, light is going from vacuum to glass, then absolute refractive index of glass can be represented as N glass. There is no need to represent A there because it is already understood. If Ng is given to you, it means that is the refractive index with respect to a material with respect to a air or vacuum. Similarly, refractive index of a medium with respect to air is called the absolute refractive index. The ratio of the speed of light in vacuum or air to the speed of light in a medium, that is called refractive index of that medium. Let us see how. Like I have written N here, that is refractive index of a medium. Its ratio will be speed of light in air to the speed of light in medium. Example Ng, it means speed of light in air to the speed of light in glass. Or you can write here as Nga, matlab speed of light in glass with respect to air, but there is no need to represent A because we are talking about the absolute refractive index. So in that case this is understood, there is no need. And what we are going to write, V air or vacuum to V speed. Ng, that is refractive index of glass. How we can show? Va, 3 into 10 raised power 8 speed of light in the air divided by V glass, that is 2 into 10 raised power 8. You will get 3 by 2, that is 1.5. Now let's discuss some numericals. Light enters from air into the glass plate having N as 1.50. Find the speed of light in glass. Now Ng is given, the formula is V air by V glass. Ng is given, Va you know, you have to find Vg, that is V of glass. Take V glass on one side and other terms on this side, 1.5 in the denominator, solve it, you will get the answer, that is 2 into 10 raised power 8 meter per second. Now refractive index depends on the nature of the material of the medium and on the wavelength of the light used. Like medium, you have to learn these things. Some medium and their refractive index. Air we have refractive 1.0003, we can roughly take it as 1. For ice we have 1.31, for water we have 1.33, alcohol 1.36, kerosene 1.44, crown 1.52, flint glass 1.71, and for diamond we have maximum refractive index, so this is the most dense material. Now let's discuss some important things related to this. Note number 1, a substance having higher refractive index is optically denser as compared to the substance having low refractive index. For example, in glass, for glass we have refractive index 1.52, for water we have 1.33, so glass is denser than water. Higher the refractive index, more it will change the direction of the beam of the light passing through it. And the refractive index for light going from one medium to another, this again we have to prove, and this is very important topic. The refractive index of light going from medium 1 to medium 2 is equal to the reciprocal of the refractive index from light going from medium 2 to 1. So firstly we will take this diagram. A light ray going from medium 1 to 2, speed is v1, speed is v2. This is a case 1, normal case. And for the second case we are taking that incident ray is going from here and medium 1, so it will go like this. Speed of light in medium 2 is again v2, here is v1. So what is the change in these two diagrams? There is only one change. Here incident light is here and here light is incident from here. I and R are changed. So let the speed of light, we have taken v1 and we have taken v2. For light going from medium 1 to 2, what we will write? Refractive index n to 1, that is equivalent to v1 by v2. Now from the case 2, if I want to write refractive index of 2 with respect to light going from medium 2 to 1, means refractive index of 1 with respect to 2, that will be given as V2 by V1. So how we will represent it? We'll take its reciprocal. When I'll take its reciprocal, I'll again get this value. So from here, if we compare 1 and 2, we can say that N21 that is equivalent to N12. So this thing is proved that refractive index of 2 with respect to 1, that will be equivalent to refractive index of medium 1 with respect to 2. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1, that is equivalent to reciprocal of refractive index of 1 with respect to 2. Let's discuss an example. If the refractive index of water for light going from air to water be 1.33, means NWA is given to you 1.33, what will be the refractive index for light going from water to air? You are going to find NAW. Now NAW is equivalent to 1 by NWA. Take its reciprocal and simplify it, you will get the answer.